radio show on Hamilton Radio, My Sports Radio.
Deals. And Bonds hits right high. It's a dig. It is out. The all-time home run list.
Trainer right next to me is saying it. You may hear him. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. The heavyweight champion is taking the mandatory 8 count, and Foreman is as poised as can be in a neutral corner.
Do the Titans have a miracle left in them? Touchdown Titans! There are no flags on the field! It's a miracle! Tennessee has pulled a miracle!
My Sports Radio. And here's your host, Sean Intel.
What is going on? We are finishing July with a bang, baby. You're listening on Hamilton Radio. You're here with your boy, John Intel, and this is My Sports Radio, and I am fired up. I'm jacked up right now. Second cup of coffee. Got my Cowboys canister here ready to go with the jet fuel. Sports are back. I'm jacked up about sports, of course. Naturally. Baseball's going. Football's right around the corner. Hockey, Rangers, Islanders tonight with the playoffs August 1st. NBA about to kick the season back into gear. But I want to start somewhere real quick that got me juiced up. Last week, I had Tom DiFilippo on the show. Great guy, right? Came in, we talk football, we talk Madden. You know, we go back and forth a lot, man. Great dude. He actually has his own podcast with his buddy Eric. Another good dude, right? It's called Bro Fluent. They talk about the latest stuff. It's a pretty cool podcast, right? They got it over there on YouTube. They have their own little channel. They got their thing going on. So Tom and I go back and forth. I said, bro, come on the show. We got into our own little conversation, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And Eric chimes in. He starts talking a little bit. Everything's good, right? I love the back and forth. I think in order to be the best, you have to be able to listen everywhere. You have to see and hear what people are saying, see what they're doing. ESPN radio, everywhere. It doesn't matter what it is. Listen to podcasts. You get a lot. You get a lot of education, or maybe you don't at all, and you're like, thank God I'm not this guy. Well, needless to say, Eric and Tom did their podcast recently here again, and my friend Eric, my new buddy Eric, decided that he was going to come back at El Presidente 2024, John Intel. And Eric, I commend you, right? I love it, bro. I love when people step up to the plate. I love when they're not afraid to go back and forth. I love when they're not afraid to state their points, their views. I love it, Eric, but here's what I don't love. I don't love when you come at the champ, but the substance is not quite there. So, ladies and gents, I asked Tom to come back on the show today. I'm juiced up. I asked him, I said, Tom, come back on the show today because Rome is about to burn. So Tom is going to join us again. We're going to talk about football. I just want to say hello to everyone who's with us right now. I see the numbers climbing, the viewerships. Andy Williams, Mikey Yeager, what's going on? Terry Muller, my grandmother's in the building. Ziva, how are you? Brad Evans, Jeff Frederick, yo, what's going on? I see a lot of football guys, a lot of hockey guys in here. We're juiced up. We're ready to go, man. But I had to start that segment. So listen, Eric, I hope you're here. When you get here, bro, get your popcorn ready, sit tight, strap in, because the champ is coming for your neck. And let me tell you, bro, this is like Mike Tyson when he was 18 years old. This is not Mike Tyson 54 years old, even though he's scary as hell still. But this is going to be a fun day. But I'm going to start with baseball because we're in full swing baseball mode, no pun intended, but there's a lot. I know the fans aren't there, but there still is a lot of great baseball being played. I am beyond elated to be back, to see the Mets back on TV. Guys, I know, girls, I know, to say I'm excited to see the Mets. It's literally like loving torture and punishment on a daily basis. I know, but I can't help it. It's my heart. I love it, man. You know, I'm watching the Mets. We're 3-2, should be 4-1. Edwin Diaz needs to just, dude, I don't want to wish anybody bad. Can the guy like break his big toe or something? You know, nothing that's going to detriment his health, but maybe just his physical ability to step on the mound, because this guy is literally, this guy's the bane of my existence. There has never been a worse Met. I was never this mad at Armando Benitez ever in my life. If Edwin Diaz blows another save, I'm driving to the stadium and I'm going to break his big toe myself. I cannot watch another blown save yet again by Edwin Diaz. Edwin Diaz, and I told everybody this, Edwin Diaz, the year before he had a phenomenal year, I want everyone to look at his stats. He was atrocious for Seattle. Atrocious. I mean, he was blowing saves at a higher rate, if it's possible, than he was last year. I don't even know how it's possible, but he was. He has one great year, no pressure in Seattle. Come on, man. You go to Seattle, it's just like, whatever. Nobody knows about us. We're West Coast. We're 3 hours behind everybody. The games are nationally televised, but nobody watches them. It starts at 11 p.m. Nobody cares about the Seattle Mariners. Last time we cared about the Seattle Mariners, Ken Griffey Jr., he suited up for him. Randy Johnson suited up for him. Edgar Martinez suited up for him. A-Rod, Tino Martinez, Jay Buehler. The names go on and on. Guys, this is the last time we cared about the Mariners. Nobody cares about them. So Edwin Diaz is out there, you know, probably hanging out, going to California, getting himself into, you know, having some fun extracurricular activities, and he gets 50-plus saves. Oh, here comes the Mets. We're going to sell the farm system for Edwin Diaz and Robinson Cano, who literally can't move within a 6-foot radius of second base. Thank you, Brody Van Wagen. You're just a genius, brother. Great job on that one. Let's sell the farm system for nothing. But it's okay. No problem. We have Diaz here. So every time someone pitches really nice, what happens? The ninth inning comes. And I'm telling you this, I'm not exaggerating. I literally hold my breath. I'm a world record holder. I have to call the Guinness Books of World Records. I am the world record holder for how long a human being can hold their breath. World record. Almost killed myself there talking about Diaz. Guys, 15 minutes. Just holding my breath. Comes in, blows a save. He's got to go. He's got to go. I can do a better job as a closer than Edwin Diaz. Pay me millions, I'll blow saves. What's the problem? What is the problem? Pay me millions, I'll blow saves. Not a big deal. So here's the Mets, 3-2. For all intents and purposes, I'm happy. You can't go wrong in a division like the Mets are in, where it's pretty stacked from head to toe, and feel like, you know, being 3-2 to start the season is a bad thing. We had some nice pitching from Strickland. We had our boy Dave Peterson, finally first-round pick 2017, show up yesterday. Man, the future is bright. I hope it's not a product of no fans, but I am absolutely happy, ecstatic at what I saw from Peterson yesterday. You know our man DeGrom is on. Michael Wacha came in, pitched very nice. Porcello got lit up, but we'll see what happens one start. Betances looks great. So Seth Lugo, great. Jeurys Familia is, for all intents and purposes, a dumpster fire. He blamed it on the rice, the chicken and rice. He got a little bit overweight, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Joke. We're doing this without Pete Alonso really hitting. Dominic Smith, man, he's a clubhouse leader. The guys love him. Came in, hit a big home run. J.D. Davis has got to get warming up a little bit. Ahmad Rosario got to get warming up a little bit. We had a Conforto home run. McNeil's been looking really good. How about that play in the ninth inning, man, where McNeil, he made a pretty nice play stopping the ball, and then he threw the ball, and Pete Alonso couldn't scoop it up out of the dirt, and they didn't even call it an error, and two guys dropped the ball. Mind-boggling to me on that one. I don't know who was doing the numbers on that. That's kind of a joke, but our lineup is young. For right now, knock on wood here, we're healthy. Our pitching staff is not, but we have plug-and-play starters in the National League, which goes a long way. So, with that being said, I'm happy with the Mets moving in. It's been a little bit tough on the Yankees, who looked very promising, started out 2-1. Stanton hit an absolute atomic bomb with his home run. So it looked like the Yankees were starting to gear up for, of course, what we felt was going to be a very, very nice run. As we thought for that team, they're stacked from top to bottom, barring any injuries. But still, it's looking good for that team. Gleyber Torres, one can make the argument that he is the leader of that clubhouse. He's the future of the Yankees. Every bit of a stud, as we thought he would be. So you got to be happy with him. But, man, that team is loaded. And then what happened? Coronavirus reared its ugly head, and the Miami Marlins had 18 positive corona cases and almost single-handedly stopped the baseball season dead in its tracks. Reports are the youngsters from Miami wanted to go partying. They wanted to go out to the club. They wanted to live the dream. The baseball American dream. We can make millions and we can go to the club and check out the hot ladies and do all the extracurricular activities we want to do. No problem. And then what happens? We get corona. Okay, cool. Thank you, Miami Marlins, for almost sabotaging the entire season for us. Almost doing your best sabotage job that I have ever seen in my entire life. It's a joke. And this from day one has been the biggest obstacle, the biggest hurdle for Major League Baseball. It's not Corona. What it is the players sabotaging each other. Will there be players on a bad team who know that they won't be in it later on down the road that are okay with not going to gentlemen's clubs when it's 97 degrees out and they don't have a chance? No, you cannot trust the players, because at the end of the day, you're talking 21-year-old guys with too much money, too much time, no accountability, no responsibility, living the dream. The reports are coming out that COVID is hitting people who have underlying issues and elderly. So why would a 21-year-old care? Dude, I'm at the peak of my condition, right? I'm this Adonis, chiseled out of stone. I'm a baseball player. I can get whatever I want. I can go wherever I want. I can get into any nightclub I want. So you know where I want to go have some chicken wings? At the strip club. That's where I want my chicken wings. That's where I want my chicken wings. You can order anything, any room service you want. You can have everything come to your house. But you want chicken wings at the strip club. Oh, is that what you wanted at the strip club? Chicken wings? Okay, bro. So here we are, now waiting in anticipation to see what happens, right? Thankfully enough, the Phillies, even though I'm a Mets fan, you don't want anyone getting it. You don't want the season derailed. You don't want anything happening. You don't want any liabilities here, man. We're thankful to have sports back. You have some bubbles. Hockey's about to do it. They tested hundreds of their players, cleared. NBA came back, tested hundreds of their players, cleared. WNBA, doesn't matter what you watch. We need sports back, and they're doing it the right way. Here comes baseball. They argue for months, billionaires against millionaires, right? They can't decide how many more zeros they want attached to the end of their check. But not one time did we actually have a protocol put in place for if someone got the coronavirus, and spread it to everybody else in a gentleman's club. I don't know. Is that not is that not part of your protocol? Page 6, Article 7, Paragraph 3. I mean, we have all of these circumstances for money, but not for health. Very interesting. So what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? So I think to myself, why not remove the players who decide to not be safe from the players' union? Minimum a year. Remove them. They're not protected by the union. They don't get their money. They don't get their whatever baseball pension they would get, their retirement. They don't get their veterans. It doesn't go towards their veterans clause. That year is gone. Remove them. After that, there's a hearing. There's an arbitration hearing where the players have to defend themselves and work their way back into the players' union. That's what I think should happen. You want to protect each other? It's time to man up and do the right thing by each other. If you keep pointing the finger and saying baseball's not protecting us, what about you guys protecting each other? Remember, the owners aren't spreading coronavirus to you. How do you get it? From other players. So it's time to look at the other millionaires in the room and say, hey, bro, you're out, my man. I don't have time for this, patience for this, nothing. You're out. Sorry. Never going to happen again. I'm not putting my family in jeopardy. I'm not putting my career in jeopardy. The players need to call some sort of a hotline. The NBA has a hotline. And as crazy as it sounds, as crazy as this, snitches get stitches, bro, when you're talking about your pay, your money, your livelihood, and your health for the whole year, my man, you better be on the horn faster than a pig is going to roll in mud. Pick up the phone and say, hey, Manfred, broski, this guy over here, he's got the Rona. We need him tested. We need him out, isolated right now. But no, you know what they're going to do? They're going to blame it on baseball. They're going to blame it on the owners. They're going to say, the owners didn't have a protocol in place for this. Oh, the owners told you couldn't go to the strip club because you're a grown man? So you want me to hold your hand while you pee also? What do you want to do here? Enough is enough. And here we are as fans. I go back as a fan. I do this as a fan. I love this right now as a fan. People are here joining. Buck DeSantis, what's going on? Maddie Campbell, what's going on? My mom's in the building. How we doing, Mom? Listen, we go back. We go back to all this because we're fans. I'm a fan. I love it. I want to do this. This is a passion for me. But the fact is how are we supposed to do something if we're here watching billionaires argue with millionaires and they can't even hold themselves accountable? Guys, Baseball, think about baseball as a whole. Hear me out here. Let's go down the road of absurd, okay? Let's close our eyes and pretend to go on a journey together. You walk into your job as a regular person, and you only do 25% of the tasks that your boss wants you to do, right? You do 25% of them really well. The other 75%, you're crap. You miss, you ignore them, you whiff on it. You don't even do it, you don't get it done. You work 100, 200 days out of the year. 200, okay? 3 hours a day. What do you think's going to happen to you? You are on the unemployment line faster than you can say goodbye to your fellow employees. Anthony Buzio, what's up, brother? You're going to say goodbye. Bro, in baseball, when you bat 250, ask Bryce Harper what happens. You hit 35, 40 home runs a year, you get $300 million for a quarter of the time being successful. A quarter. And the ultimate part-time gig. Don't tell me that having the best nutritionists in the world and the best physical trainers in the world working with you for 8 hours a day is strenuous. Dude, if you think that's strenuous, you can kick rocks. Okay? Because I would give a kidney, 2 toes, an appendix, and maybe 3 fingers to have that life. Not now because I got my daughter, obviously, because, you know, the booba is everything to me. That's the love of my life. But I'm just saying beforehand, right? So that's how this works. That's how this works, guys. In baseball, you're good 25% of the time, you're the man. Bro, forget if you have an average of 300. You have an average of 300, it's God status. Right now, when it's a swing and miss sport, forget it. Dudes make a living out of hitting the long ball and striking out a gazillion times. Aaron Judge didn't he set the all-time, like one of the all-time records for most strikeouts in his very first rookie year? Didn't he have like 200 strikeouts or something? I have to look it up. But Aaron Judge is like the face of baseball now. You kidding me? The face of baseball. If I did 25% of the things my boss wanted me to in one day, I'd get fired. These guys do it every year after year, 25%. So, okay, I got to watch 25%. Okay, fine. You're batting 250. But now you can't even stay healthy? Now you can't stay on the field because you got to go eat wings at the strip club? Come on, man. Where's Stephen A. Smith when I need him? Hit him with the come on, man. This is crazy. Everybody needs to just stay home. I'm talking about baseball, okay? I'm not talking people. I'm talking baseball. Stay home, dude. Just keep your ass in your living room. Go to the stadium, swing a baseball bat, and go home. Do yourself a favor. You want to really... You really need extracurricular activities that bad? Go on Match.com, dude. Mike Luacki, what's going on? Don Long, how we doing, boys? If you need the ladies so bad that you cannot go a couple months without extracurricular activities, go on a dating site. Please. Type in your little profile. Whatever. I don't know which way you swipe. Up, down, left, right. I don't care, man. Swipe your ass. It doesn't matter to me. Right in there, I'm a baseball player. I have a lot of money. Come to my house. You get plenty of girls that way. You have to go to the gentleman's club. You have to. At a time when you can click a button on social media You can get a bride from overseas. You can't get a girl from 10 minutes away? Dude, is it me? I'm not a rocket scientist, bro. I didn't go to Yale. Come on, man. This is ridiculous. And this is the crap I got to watch right now. And by the way, the Marlins didn't even look bad. They're 2-1. And here we are talking about the Marlins diving into the 60-pool player, trying to find guys who are ready to just swing a baseball bat. This is why the Marlins suck. Forget the fire sales every time they have a great team. Forget the fire sales. The Marlins suck because they're run from top to bottom by idiots. That's why they suck. By the way, that's why the Mets suck. Because from top to bottom, we're run by idiots. It's crazy to me that in 2020, every single thing in America is run at the click of a button. Literally, at the click of a button. And you got to go and risk the entire baseball season. It's absurd. So whatever, we're going to move on. I'd remove the Marlins completely. They're not even a team. Dude, Florida, bro, I got some good friends in Florida. Shout out to Pat Langston, right? Big Pat Langston, good buddy of mine. He's like a little brother. I love the kid dearly, but I tell him, man, everything that's ridiculous is in Florida. Everything, bro. It is the Bermuda Triangle of America. You walk into Florida, and you actually forget that there's a reality. Let's just get rid of the Miami Marlins completely. Let's put a team somewhere else. Put in Idaho. Who the hell cares? Nebraska. Just chop Florida off and let it sail away. It's ridiculous. Everything ridiculous happens. Not to get off topic, but just to further my point about Florida. Did you recently hear what happened in Florida? You know how everyone with the coronavirus, small businesses could apply for, the PP loans, the payment protection loans to obviously reimburse businesses to keep their employees on, to pay them for 2 months, right? So a guy in Florida applied for a loan, for the payment protection loan from the government, and got approved for $4 million, actually asked for $13 million, and somehow said he ran 7 businesses from home. He had 4 or 5 businesses, 70 employees from home. He actually got approved for $3.98 million, bought a Lamborghini with the money. Now, obviously, they found out what happened, and they caught him in a scam, but that guy's from Florida, of course, right? Everyone else in the country's starving. They need help. They're getting loans. 36 million people going on unemployment. This guy from Florida says, you know what? It would be a great idea to scam somebody and buy a Lamborghini with it. Oh, by the way, made 2 separate $30,000 payments to who else? A woman from a gentleman's club. Here we are again. Miami strikes again. Dude, I'm telling you, this is what it is. Sorry. Take it or leave it. Love it or hate it. You got to call it how you see it. Sorry, boys and girls. Just chop it off, let them sail away, and we'll figure the rest out later. Okay? Dead people vote in Florida. Where else you see dead people vote? This is it. It doesn't matter. So, I digress. We'll move on. Baseball heating up, right? So the Mets come out of the gate. Yankees come out of the gate. Hopefully the season continues, but something very interesting happened yesterday. We know, very expensive, Jason Pillar, very expensive wings, my friend. Top-notch, expensive wings. So, here's what happened yesterday. We know that, obviously, the Astros, with the scandal, right? The sign stealing scandal happened. They won a World Series. They made a little bit of a run for 3 years. Great team. Obviously, top to bottom, still a great team. I want your opinion on this. How do you feel about this? If you want to call in, you can. 609-807-2492. You know I love getting different perspectives. Joe Kelly gets on the mound yesterday, and he throws the ball at Correa. Throws 96 mile an hour fastballs behind Bregman's head. Hits Gurriel. Joe Kelly gets off the mound. Now, by the way, Joe Kelly's had a history of this. I don't know if you guys have seen this guy. This guy's he's a little crazy, this guy. Joe Kelly, he's getting off the mound. He just starts yapping at Correa. I don't know if you saw it, but I mean, he is jawing at him. He's making fun of him, right? Correa gets all, bent out of shape, start yelling at him. And here we are. We have the first coronavirus baseball brawl. Now, baseball brawls are a joke to begin with. We know that. Have we ever really seen a punch thrown in baseball other than when Odor almost knocked off Jose Batista's head on second base? I know you remember that, man. That was sick. When he got up and just, bro, he hit him so hard, there was memes for the next 2 years of that punch. But we don't see punches. We get more of Pedro Martinez throwing Don Zimmer to the floor than we get of anything else. You remember when Jason Varitek put his glove in A-Rod's face, right? The Red Sox-Yankees brawl. Yeah, Nolan Ryan, but that's old school, though, Ant. You know that's old school. Everyone goes back to these things. That's old school stuff, though. We don't see that now, right? We don't see that anymore. We get guys that just push and shove, and they put each other in a headlock, and, they probably talk about their afternoon. They probably talk about, what they're going to have for dinner, if their girlfriends or wives are going to get together later. You know how this goes, dude. This is not Nolan Ryan getting back on the mound with a bloody face. Nah. This is, new day and age, but it's even funnier. It's even funnier to see now where both benches clear and they meet, but social distancing from each other, right? They meet in the middle, they're jawing. And it's funny because I wish they had done this, obviously, in the past anyway, because it's so unnecessary for a lot of people to just group up in a huddle just to hug and wrestle. So this is essentially what they've been doing pre-coronavirus anyway, just with a lot more hugs and headlocks, hugging and kissing. So it was quite interesting to see. Definitely, I laughed a little bit, but I am all for every single team throwing at the Astros. Every series, once a game, someone's got to get it. What the Astros did, right? Cheating is not acceptable unless it's steroids, so we can see home runs. I know Don's going to kill me for that, but Don, you do know my stance on that. So all I'm saying is every game, not every game, every series, once a series, somebody's got to get clocked. Not in the head. I'm not for head hunting. Dude, it's scary. When a player gets hit in the head, that baseball's a rock. Dude, it can truthfully end a player's life. It can. I'm not for that. Throw it from the waist down. Throw it at the player's back, lower back, right? Throw it at their thigh. They got to get it, though. They got to get it. So I'm a big fan. I'm a big believer in it. The Players Union did not do enough to punish the Astros for the scandal. They didn't do enough. And honestly, every team needs to be honest. Every team needs. This is the one time every team needs to collaborate. They all need to get on a Zoom call and say, bro, every pitcher in the league needs to say, hey, man, I have August 2nd. You got August 4th? Okay, cool. What you got, man? August 6th? All right, bro. You? August 9th? Okay, cool. I am all for it. And Buck, let me tell you, man, I'm with you, right? It's a tough call to kick somebody out, ban somebody. There should have been suspensions. Bigger suspensions. But the Players Union is protected, man. I'm telling you, someone could shoot somebody on the mound. Somehow the Players Union will get them off scot-free. So I'm with you, Buck. I don't know that far, but they should be penalized much harder, and they didn't. So here we are. Somebody's got to police it, right? And if the players are doing it themselves, we have all these crazy unwritten rules. I don't even know all the unwritten rules. I feel like an unwritten rule is like whatever happens at that moment in time. Like, if someone found out that, all the players weren't, cleaning their underwear for a week, that would be like an unwritten rule of, during a win streak. Who knows, man? We don't know. But what I do know is these guys need to get hit and hit frequently. And there needs to be records set this year. Records. Every Astro needs to, at some point in time, needs to get hit hard. Hard. So that's how I feel about it. And, I'm not for the head. I'm not for throwing at the head. I don't know if he meant to. It didn't sound like it. I wouldn't accuse anybody. But the fact is that, Bregman, Correa, Gurriel, Verlander, all these guys who are part of that team, dude, you are not exempt from anything, bro. You're not. You're not exempt. You need to get hit, and you deserve every last bit. And hey, dude, if the ball sails up a little bit, I don't want anybody to be hit. Bregman didn't get hit, but that's a warning right there, my man. The ball sailed up. You're an a-hole. That's what Joe Kelly was telling you, and we're coming for you. And Joe Kelly had the kahunas to be the first to step up to the plate and do it. And I want to see more of it. I do. I'm sorry. It could upset somebody. I'm saying it here. I don't advocate for throwing at the head. Never, 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 never. That's so scary, man. I don't want anybody, God forbid, but I'm a big advocate for just killing these guys at home plate. So more needs to happen to them. They didn't do a good enough job of policing it themselves. I think the Astros should have gotten penalized much harder, and they didn't. And I am, it seems like a lot of you guys are on the same page I am. Mike Luwacki, you're calling for AJ Hinch's head. Buck, you said it yourself. Andy Williams, you said throw at them all. These guys, I think it's not always that as people we can unanimously agree on anything, right? It's tough because that's what makes us individuals. But I think with this, we can definitely agree that these guys got to get it a little bit harder for sure. Moving on from that, I'm looking down here. Some of the standings, Cubbies off to a strong start in a tough division. New York Mets 3-2. Atlanta Braves are 2-3. The rest of the division is under 500. Also 1-2. Nationals 1-4. Padres 4-1. Padres are the real dude. Do not sleep on the fathers. They're going to make some noise this year in a 60-game season where it is irrelevant what happens after a trade deadline or when the summer hits. Dude, they can make a run at it. And Mike, I would not mind a Joe Kelly jersey at all, brother. I'd be in on that. I got to get a few of them, I guess, for MSR, huh? But, you see it here. The Astros still 3-2. Great from top to bottom. Oakland A's are always in it, aren't they? Right? Oakland A's are somehow always in it. Always feeling like no matter what, their teams are they're just good enough to play the game, man. It's like fundamentals are so important on a team. And they have some players, by the way, up and down that lineup that we actually forget that their lineup is pretty stacked with big hitters. Bases, Matt Chapman, Tony Kemp is a very nice young player. Matt Olson, great player. Marcus Semien is a great veteran, hits the ball. Laureano, young player. Dude, they have Piscotty batting 7th or 8th in that lineup, which should just tell you everything you need to know about how deep that lineup is. So the A's can make some noise. The pitching staff, led by the whistleblower Mike Fiers, they're a little thin. Montes has to get his overall stuff together. Young guy, good. A flamethrower. He's only 27. Luzardo, 22 years old, got to get his stuff together. They can be something. They got to get it together, though, and they can in a shortened season, by the way. So I think it's possible, and, it's we're going to see what coaching does. We're going to see how the pitching holds up for sure and how the players develop. We move on, obviously, through the standings. Let me get to the rest of the baseball standings here. Let's see what we got. The Dodgers are 3-2. Listen, Kershaw hasn't stepped on the mound yet. That's a game changer. When he does, it's problems pretty much for everybody in the league going forward. That lineup is otherworldly. We talked about it, but has there been a better hitter recently than Max Muncy, power hitter? Max Muncy is a nut job. I mean, that guy, he is also next level for sure. I know Mookie Betts was 1 for 3 the other day. All right, start out slow, 208, 2 RBIs. They can't afford to have him start out slow, but they're 3-2 with him starting slow. So once Mookie Betts gets going with that $380 million contract, they're going to get going, man. But they are, they are from top to bottom. That team is dynamite. The Dodgers. So, yeah, Andy, I got to agree with it, man. The Dodgers are looking really good there. Any surprise teams? Baltimore Orioles are 2-1. They will fall off quick. Razor as advertised, man. 4-1. They're cruising. Blue Jays are 3-2. Red Sox suck. The Cleveland team is 4-1. Twins are 3-1. The Twins are a powerhouse. Tigers 3-2. They'll fall off. Royals 2-3. They'll fall off. Chicago White Sox should have started out better. The fact that they're behind the 8 ball is tough news for them, man. In a season like this, starting out 1-4, that's, 5 games in a 60-game season, very tough to come back from. Very tough. You start out 1-5, 10% of your season is done. 10%, and if you're 4 games under 500. You're down Poops Creek with no paddle, man. So they got to get revved up here. The Reds were one of those real quirky odds, not favorites, but long shots that people that odds bettors really fell in love with. And the Reds started out slow, man, 1-4, but that's kind of that's also as expected. Giants 2-3, Diamondbacks 2-3. Colorado Rockies 3-1. I don't think they have the pitching to sustain. As long as the Rockies are in Colorado and hitting, the Rockies have a chance. It's when they travel to other places. Do they have what it is? Do they have what it takes? I'm not thinking so. So we'll see. But baseball's revved up. I love it, man. We're going to move on from baseball. We're going to move over to hockey. Hockey is here. Better than hockey's here. Playoff hockey is here. 3 days. Guys and girls, let's get ready for that hockey, baby. Tonight, Rangers, Islanders, gear up. Getting warmed up. I love it. I cannot wait. I got to admit, I won't be tuning in tonight because I do have DeGrom on the mound and the Yankees do have Garrett Cole. And guys and girls, please tune in after this show is done. Sal Angeletti on Talking Baseball we actually talked about an idea a while back, and it's a pretty cool idea. So I'm going to do it when it works out. But Sal's actually going to be calling the game during Talking Baseball as a broadcaster himself. So I think that's a really cool idea. I'll be doing the same for a Mets game here down the road. So if you're a Yankee fan, definitely tune into Sal, man. I think he's going to do some great work there, and we'll see what happens. Listen, it doesn't mean much other than getting the guys geared up, so we're excited for it, right? That's what we wanted. We wanted playoff hockey back, and Andy Williams said the bunker's ready, and Eric is in the building. This is exciting, guys and girls. Eric, I don't know if you've been here the whole time, man. I'm going to stop my segment. I'm going to stop the show right now. Stopped. Eric, I don't know if you were here from the beginning, brother, but I'm going to wait for Tom to get here, right? And I talked to the guys and girls listening here on HamiltonRadio.net, watching simulcast here on Facebook, anybody on the Hamilton Radio app, right? I told everybody. Other people with podcasts, shows, channels, I love it, man. I'm a big believer in people putting their work out, their knowledge, their points of views, their ideas, their thoughts. I love that stuff, man. I love it. And Eric, obviously, you have a podcast, right? You have a YouTube channel, and you are half of that. I had your other half here last week, and I invited him on today because I thought it was important. You had a segment on your show, and I love it, man. I'm going to say a couple things here. You had a great segment. You stated your point. You came back you addressed me. You literally addressed me, which I love, right? It's great to do. You went on the podcast. You talked about the experience for Tom coming on. And Eric, I'm going to tell you this. I hope you're strapped in tonight, brother. I hope wherever you're sitting, it has a seatbelt. And I hope you have whatever calming drink you need, maybe a hot cup of tea. I don't know. Something that relaxes you. Because, bro, you came at the champ, and I love it. I do love it. But when you come at the champ, brother, you got to come correct. You got to dive in a little bit deeper, my friend Eric. You got to dive deeper. You can't leave any holes open. But you did. You left them wide open. And just like the great Emmitt Smith, or the late great Walter Payton, or the bus Jerome Bettis, bro, I'm going to run through the hole, and I'm going to destroy anybody in the way, man. So when Tom gets here, I want Tom to be sitting right here, right next to me, because I want him to feel it here. And Eric, this is what we're going to do, man. I'm going to extend the invitation to you, if you're still around after the segment here, okay? Not next week, because I do have a special guest calling in next week that I'm very excited to have call in to My Sports Radio. The bio will be up. Guys and girls, if you're a Yankee fan, if you're a Mets fan, if you're a baseball fan, I want you tuning in. Special guest. I'm very excited about it. So not next week. The week after that, I do have another in-house guest doing a little bit of traveling to join me, which is exciting. But a few weeks, brother, if you want on, Eric, if you want to go toe-to-toe with the champ, I'm all game, bro. The gloves are off. So I tell you this, promise me, if you decide to show up in this studio, you come better prepared than what I heard from the podcast. Please. We're going to get into in a second, though. I digress. Let me talk hockey. So hockey's back. Buck, Florida Panthers, a long shot. I like that. I like it because anything's possible right now, right? Anything's possible. But I have to say I'm still going. I'm sorry to say this. I'm still going with my New York Rangers as the dark horse and my Stanley Cup champions. My Stanley Cup champions. I want everyone to listen in here closely. The Colorado Avalanche will win the Stanley Cup. Colorado Avalanche will win the Stanley Cup. That is who is going to do it. I love my Rangers, but I'm also realistic. We're a young team. We rely heavily on Zibanejad. We rely heavily on Panarin. We got goalies by committee, and they're good. But I do feel the Rangers will go back to putting Henrique in goal out of respect. It won't work for us. So I'm not 100% sure that we can go all the way. But I am thinking Colorado Avalanche wins it. The Rangers will make a nice, deep run as my dark horse. But you heard it here first. Avalanche are the Stanley Cup champions. And Matty Cascarella, what's up, baby? Another Ranger fan. Let's go, Rangers. Some of my Ranger guys are in here. I know Brad Evans, another Rangers guy. What's up, boys? I'm telling you heard it here first. Rangers. Rangers are going to make a deep run. The Bees, the Boston Bruins, they're there, Don. I'm not saying, dude, listen, you have to understand. I'm not saying to you that they're not going to be there, right? I'm just saying I picked my team as the dark horse, and I think the Rangers have enough to do it, to make a nice, deep run. That's how I feel, right? I would normally say Tampa Bay Lightning, but we saw what happened with Tampa Bay Lightning last year. I mean, Tampa Bay is, you can't get out of the first round with that many wins and that many points, bro. Please, you don't get my vote of confidence. No shot, no way, no how. Sorry. So, I'm telling you, Andy, you could say what you want, bro. You can say what you want. I'm just letting you know the Colorado Avalanche are my pick. You don't have to agree with it. We could agree to disagree. And you're right. Joe Sakic is not walking through the door. You're right. 100%. But Cale Maker is a stud. Ryan Graves is a very nice player on that team. There is scorers. McKinnon is one of the best young players in the league, one of the best young centers in all of hockey. McKinnon is a stud. So they have players. They really have players from top to bottom. I'm looking at this list. Young players, man. Young. I love this roster. I love it. I really do. Eric Johnson, Lindholm, Timmins. I just like this roster. And I feel they have the goaltending to do it. So that's my pick. That is my pick. My pick is the Avalanche to win the Stanley Cup. Take it or leave it. I say to you guys, I would make that bet right now to Vegas. Now, we can make cases for other teams. We can. We can definitely make cases. But you have to understand, Andy Williams, you know what this benefits here? Bro, this type of format benefits young teams. Young teams don't have to get the chemistry that the older teams have to get. They don't have to rev up the engine. The Boston Bruins are the oldest team in hockey. They don't have to rev up the engine. The young players, they're out playing, bro. Remember, I'm the old buck here. I'm 34, guys. I'm the old head. When you're 21, 22, 23, 24, forget that when you're 18 to 27, dude, your engine's going all day. Just ask the Miami Marlins players. The engine's going all day. You're ready to go. I was in the gym twice a day. Come on, guys. Bro, I mean, my wife used to get sick at how often I was in the gym. You're talking boot camp classes, working out, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Thai classes. I mean, guys, I was in the gym maybe 5 hours a day in between working, after work, before work. So these guys are ready to go. It just screams a young dark horse is going to win this. This is what it tells me. It screams it. This has got Avalanche all over this. It does. Sorry. It's got it written all over it. It's got one of those, it's got a roster that you're just like, how'd that happen? Where'd these guys come from? The Stars with their scores. That team is stacked. The Golden Knights are nice. I'm not saying they're not, but the Oilers scores stacked. It says to me a young team is here. A young team is going to get momentum when it matters. A young team is going to take it. That's what it says to me. So the Avalanche, in my mind, I'm looking top to bottom. I think it's going to spell trouble for a lot of people. And I think honestly that if the Avalanche get going, I think if the Rangers get going, like they got a good shot, young team, but I think it's problems. And yeah, Don, I said it. Edmonton, a healthy McDavid, arguably the best scorer in all the NHL. I mean, I know Ovechkin, Ovi's nasty, right? But right now, is there a more dynamic player in the NHL than Connor McDavid? I don't see it. I don't see it. So for me, I'm thinking that, they're there. They got to stay healthy. I don't know if the goaltending is going to be there for them. The Edmonton Oilers are always suspect. They had a point differential, a goal differential of only 8 plus 8. That doesn't scream to me high-end goaltending. So we'll see. I'm looking at Edmonton's roster right now. They got some firepower there. We said Connor McDavid, Sheehan, James Neal. Oh my gosh, he's in the building. Tom DiFilippo is in the building. I'll let you get your head. I'll let you get comfortable. I'll let you settle in, brother. Settle in. Settle in. Yeah, get your headset on. I want you to hear me loud and clear here. Okay, let's see. Yeah, the goaltending to me is suspect. I can't sign off on that. Sorry, can't do it. But that's it. Tommy, what's up, brother?
What's going on, man?
Yo, listen.
Good to be back.
I'm happy to have you back. Didn't think it'd be this soon, by the way. But listen, sometimes things happen, and you have to call an audible, right? You have to. And obviously, being the Peyton Manning of the show, audible is what I do. I had to just line up Omaha, and here's Tom, right? So this is what I had to do.
That's fine.
So I'm happy to have you here. But now that you're here, I don't want to shove hockey too far to the side. But guys and girls, this is actually what I'm fired up to be here about. So were you listening on the way in?
I was listening on the way in, yeah. I'm pretty amped to see what's about to go down.
Okay. So Eric, he was here in the comments, right? So in theory, he's still here. I hope he's still here, because if not, he's going to have to rewatch it later. And maybe he doesn't want to rewatch it. But guys and girls, half of Bro Fluence in the house here. Tom, how are you?
Good, man. Good to be back. How are you?
I'm amped up. I'm not gonna lie, this is my second cup of coffee. I normally don't have anything more than a 12 ounce, and this, my friend, you could kill an elephant with. Okay, so
You're jacked up today.
I'm jacked up. All right. So I watched the podcast a couple times. We've had many talks.
Mm-hmm.
You know that I dive deep.
100%.
it's not surface level. I'm upset with you for one reason. Normally we have our differences. I love that. Love it, right? What I don't love is someone who backpedals. I watched the podcast and you backpedaled a couple times, and now I'm gonna have to kill you for it. Okay, so it's upsetting because I didn't want to have to do that. I didn't because Tom, we disagree, dude. We disagree on a lot of stuff, but you backpedaled, and it made me a little bit upset.
Listen, I think my man Seek made some good points.
Okay, time to bury him. Here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, on the podcast, man, I am jacked up for this. Eric, here we go, baby. So Eric's here. And so Eric on the podcast, I take notes. I take in-depth notes. Okay, here he is.
Wow, look at that.
In-depth notes, okay? So Eric is a younger guy. One of your Eric, you're a millennial, 100%, right? But you're really stuck at like the front and center for the millennials. And it pains my heart, but this is why. We have a bit of an identity crisis for one of our guys from Brofluent. And we're going to fix it right now. Because listen, millennials to me, this is what I'm going to tell you. Young millennials, they like to point out all the problems. Right? This is an issue. This is a problem. That's a problem. This is a problem. But there's no solutions. But Eric, it's okay. Because I'm a solutions-oriented guy. I am an older man here, especially on this set, and I'm here to solve problems, bro. So we're gonna solve this right now before Tom and I get into the top 100. We're gonna look through it together, dude. I'm gonna breeze through this because we have a lot to get through, bro. So I'm glad you're here. We have a lot, but this is where we're gonna go. So Eric says he makes a bold statement, and I quote. Okay? I'm a big, what have you done for me lately guy. This is quotes. That is verbatim. Okay? So that's exactly what you said. Here we go. First, you said perennial. You went at me about me saying the Rangers are perennial winners. You ready for it, Eric? They're not perennial flowers, okay? They don't just pop up every year. When you are in a sport, we're talking virtually perennial. And this is what you said to me. What have you done for me lately if they didn't make the playoffs last year? The San Antonio Spurs. Would you say they're perennial winners?
Yeah, I would.
How could you? This year, they didn't make the playoffs. What have you done for me lately? But it's okay. You ready for it? The Spurs have been around 47 years, right? They've missed the playoffs 4 times in 47 years, okay? He goes on to say something. The Atlanta Hawks are not perennial winners, and you agreed. You ready for it?
This is true. They're not perennial winners.
How? You ready? They went to the playoffs 10 years in a row. No problem. They had an 8-year stretch before that, rebuilding, new management, new head coaches, trying to find an identity, okay? And they didn't make the playoffs. But here we go. The 22 years prior, 18 years in the playoffs, 4 off. When you talk sports, there will never be a time ever where a team will not miss the playoffs. But it's not that they're not perennial winners. It's that there's a stepping stone in order to rebuild, to retool, right? So we see generational players move in and move out. It's unfortunate, but that's how it is, right? The Cowboys went on a massive 8-year stretch. Aikman's gone, Irvin's gone, Sanders gone, Smith gone, Woodson gone. Like, this is what we deal with. So now you have 32 years, okay? 32 years. And these guys, I'm sorry, we had 40 years. They made the playoffs 28 times in 40 years. Bro, you're out of your mind if you say they're not a perennial playoff team. Anybody would sign up for 28 playoff appearances in 40 years for your franchise. You know who ain't doing that, bro? The Islanders. Sorry. But it's okay, though. I digress with the Atlanta Hawks. It's fine. I also digress with perennial because we're not talking about flowers, my millennial friend, okay? And it's not what have you done for me lately? It's what have you done, period. That's how we operate in sports, all right? We remember the teams in the past and we put it all together. We remember the stats and we put it all together. That's how you build a portfolio anywhere you are. Guys get paid for what they did, not what have you done for me lately, right, Eric? They don't get paid during the season for what they're doing that year. They get paid for what they did before that year, right? So don't get caught up in the what have you done for me lately, right now, statistics. So, Tom, would you agree with that?
From the stats you've brought up, you are making a valid point.
Okay, no problem. By the way, we love to disagree with each other. So I say this to you, Eric. When you come for the champ, bro, you better bring more than one punch. Okay? But we're going to keep going down because you said a lot, dude. You said a lot, and I loved all of it. You also said something about you don't consider somebody a perennial team, right? It's fine. And you always consider somebody, you always like to see what somebody does later for you. And then you find a season that absolutely pops out to you and puts the point into perspective. But you don't dive deep enough. So it's a fault. And you left the hole open. So here comes the bus. My man went back to 2018. There's a lot of points here, Eric, so get your notes out, bro. Class is in session. There's a lot you said here. You said you gave Tom, you guys do a podcast, he's at his place, you're at your place, right? Kind of catch you off guard. He gave a lot of stats. Yep. And I don't think you had your pen and paper readily available.
No, it was a lot of info.
It was a lot of, and he said that. He said that. He was like, listen, I know it's a lot of info, right? Like this is a lot to give you. And you could tell like he was mindful of the conversation. And I want to always preference this, like, Eric, what you guys do I love, right? Like I wouldn't even bother if I didn't love it. So always keep that in mind, bro. Like keep doing what you're doing, keep saying what you're saying and feeling what you're saying, because that's what makes your show your show. I love that, right? I'm just saying, when you come from the champ, baby, like, it's a whole different story. But here's what he says. He gives a stat about James White, but he gives just a stat, and he doesn't say the name. Mm-hmm. Then he gives a stat about Alvin Kamara, right? And he doesn't say the name. Then he asks Tom, who would you rather have? So, obviously, Tom's in a bit of a quandrum, and he says, I'm thinking guy number one.
Right, yeah.
As anybody would say, because it's probably the stat that, you
remember most in your head.
The reason why he's saying it is because he wants you to remember it. Right? Very clever. Marketing 101. I like that.
He's a business major. He knows what he's doing.
I love it, right? But you failed to dive into things. So James White, you compared, and you said James White, he had 95 carries. He had all these yards, better average carries. He had all these catches with the receptions, with the yards. All glamorous. And then he said Alvin Kamara didn't do as much. Would you rather have James White or Alvin Kamara? You ready for it? Football is based on one thing now, one thing only. Agree or disagree with me? Fantasy football.
Yeah, a large part.
Okay. Everything we do in life now in football is fantasy football. What have they done in fantasy football? So you ready for it, bro? Here's your James White comparison saying, would you want him or wouldn't you want him? And Eric, when I tell you this, you can then hit the off button. James White, average draft position, running backs in 2018, the year you gave, broski, 47th draft, 47th running back picked. You know where he ended up? As the 7th best running back in all of football. Yeah, I'd rather take him. Yep. And you know why he wasn't the next year? He was hurt and not part of the scheme, bro. But you know who's always part of the scheme? Alvin Kamara. And by the way, let me also tell you, what have you done for me lately gets you. You remember a guy, LeGarrette Blount? LeGarrette Blount in 2010, 1,161 yards, 18 touchdowns. You want LeGarrette Blount? Probably not. Look at his work, his history. But that's what the old heads do, bro. We look at the data, okay? We looked at the anecdote. That's what we look at here. We're stats-oriented people. We're solutions-oriented people. I don't want problems dropped off at my doorstep. He called the shit poop. We don't need that on the doorstep, bro, okay? We want real time. Peyton Hillis. You remember Peyton Hillis?
On a Madden cover.
Madden cover. Oh, you know who would have fell in love with him? Eric. Eric, 2010. 1,171 yards, 12 touchdowns, Madden cover. Would you want him? Nope. You know what you also said after? Would you take Zeke over Chubb? And you said, well, yeah, because he's the league's leading rusher, right? So you said that.
Yeah.
The fact you even put them two in the same sentence is dumb. Bro, here it is. You said he wasn't that much of a pass catcher. Eric. I just like saying your name at this point because I want it to haunt you at night. Eric. 1,434 yards rushing. 567 yards receiving. Eric, 77 catches. He doesn't catch the ball out of the backfield? Dude, what planet are you living on? No, bro. You know what? You said you wanted me to rescind the drug test. You got to take 2 and a coronavirus test. Because you're out of your flipping mind. Dude, when you look at the stats, I need you to dive deeper. And here we go. We're going to take a step further. Because I love this. You know who Alvin Kamara shared the ball with in 2017? Alvin Kamara had 728 yards rushing. Okay? They threw him the ball 100 times. 81 receptions for 826 yards. He's a running back. It's okay. Mark Ingram, who there that year, 1,124 yards. 230 carries were taken away from Ingram. Ingram could have had 2,000 yards rushing and another 12 touchdowns, but instead he decided, it's cool, bro. I'll take 1,500 plus yards, all-purpose yards. Don't worry about it. You can give Ingram whatever you want. I'll still get 1,500 all-purpose yards, but I'll take it a step further. Here we go, Eric. You know who doesn't have as many catches as a running back? Amari Cooper. Larry Fitzgerald. Odell Beckham Jr. DJ Chark. Cortland Sutton. Devontae Parker. Kenny Galladay. Emmanuel Sanders. I don't know if you get the hint, but it's cool. Stephon Diggs. Marvin Jones. Do you want me to keep going? Oh, wait a second. Tyreek Hill. Bro, Eric. DK Metcalf. Deebo Samuel. Eric, when you come at me next time, you better, Eric, you better figure something out better. I'm done with this guy for now.
I wish I could defend you right now, Eric, but I don't know. It's hard right now.
I am over it. That's it. I digress. Because we have a lot to get into, man.
I heard coming in, I heard you talking about Joe Kelly.
Joe Kelly.
His suspension just got released. 8 games. Suspended 8 games.
That's BS.
Just wanted to see what you thought about that.
It's BS. By the way, the guys he was throwing at should be suspended. Because Joe Kelly said so.
I like it.
Trash. And by the way, Eric, the one thing you had to tell me there, the one thing you had to say about all of this just now was Ryan Tannehill, right? Oh, Eric. Oh, Eric. It's so sad. It is. You ready, Eric? It's cool. We can talk about it. Ryan Tannehill. I want you to pull up Dak Prescott's numbers, and then you let me know who you want to have. Ryan Tannehill, in a few seasons with the Dolphins, threw for 24 touchdowns, 27 touchdowns, 24 touchdowns, right? Then went to a Tennessee Titans team, 22-6, 70% completion percentage. 70. That's upwards of Drew Brees numbers, right? Elite. Now, he's not elite. Don't get it twisted. But he doesn't make mistakes. And he's thrown for more touchdowns in every season except one than Dak Prescott has. You know who's about to get paid $40 million a year? Dak Prescott. So please come at me with something better than Ryan Tannehill. Please, Eric. I really like you, man. I do. I really do. I actually really do. You have to come at me with something better than Dak Prescott and Ryan Tannehill, because Dak's about to get paid for trashier things than Ryan Tannehill. Trashier. I'm a Cowboys fan. Look, okay? I live and die by this star. Dak Prescott, I rather this can throw the ball to Amari Cooper than Dak Prescott. All right? So please come at me with something better than a Ryan Tannehill statement. I rather have Alvin Kamara than Nick Chubb every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Now, by the way, if you're talking about downhill runners, okay. If you're talking about pure running backs, okay. But here's where Eric's talking out of the side of his mouth. You ready? I thought you were the guy who talked about what have you done for me lately, Eric? Because old school downhill runners are back in the day. So which one is it? Do you like back in the day running backs, or you like what have you done for me lately? I'm very confused, Eric. You have me very confused, because if you like what people have done for you lately, then you would love Christian McCaffrey, dual threat.
Right, yeah.
You would love Zeke, even though you said Zeke doesn't catch the ball, but he catches 70 receptions. Maybe he was talking about the wrong guy. Could that be possible? You would love Alvin Kamara. You would love these guys. But you like downhill runners in a what have you done for me lately world? I'm so confused. I'm very confused. Should I be this confused?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. It's okay, Eric. It's okay. I'll see you next podcast, bud. Bye-bye. Next, we're going to go through the top 100, brother. So the NFL Network released the top 100.
Mm-hmm. As they do every year.
As they do every year. Crazy, bro. Yeah. Bro, it's all over the place. So I'm going to give you the top 10. They don't have them in order.
Yeah, I didn't think they released that officially yet.
No, they don't have them in order. I'm stuck here. My headset's all over the place. I stood up.
Yeah.
All hell broke loose,
For
right?
people who aren't viewing, John was very animated in here.
Yeah. So here we go. Top 10 in no order. Aaron Donald, Stephon Gilmore, Derrick Henry, DeAndre Hopkins, Lamar Jackson, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, Patrick Mahomes, Michael Thomas, and Russell Wilson. No Travis Kelce when you have Kittle?
Yeah, Derrick Henry I don't think should be top 10 either.
Who do you have over Derrick Henry in this list?
In this list? You mean like another back?
Yeah.
Oh, I would have Saquon, and I would have Christian McCaffrey's in there. I'd have Saquon. Zeke has an argument.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I don't even understand.
It's 1 year.
It's 1 year.
The likelihood he's running over people again for 2 years in a row is very slim. Not to mention 3 years, 4 years.
You know help with this list, Eric.
Don't go on my man's. You just went at him for 15 minutes.
I'm convinced. He was there. By the way, if you have an in, let me know, bro. You clearly do. So here we go. We're gonna go top.
Yeah, let's get into it.
We're gonna get into it. This has got to irritate you.
Mm-hmm.
So number 11, they have Julio Jones outside the top 10. They have DeAndre Hopkins and Michael Thomas. You would have him up there, correct?
Yeah, I'd have him, even though Michael Thomas had statistically wise, a better year. Julio Jones, I think, is a better receiver.
How can you have Kittle on that list with no Jones?
Yeah, no, that doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Him and D Hop, sure. You could sell me D Hop, but
Number 12, Drew Brees.
seems high.
Number 13, Bobby Wagner.
Mm.
Is he that much of a game changer?
He's been. I don't know about right now.
Number 14, Tom
Uh,
Brady.
That's outrageous. No,
Number 14, Tom Brady.
no, shouldn't be. Shouldn't be that
On the
high.
top 100.
Yeah.
All positions.
We're not talking quarterbacks. We're
All
talking
positions.
all positions in the NFL. Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
At,
That's insane.
At 52 years old,
Mhm.
number 14 overall.
Yeah, no.
Can't have him there.
Nope.
Chandler Jones.
Same thing.
No shot.
No shot.
Aaron Rodgers.
Should be ahead of Brady. Should be ahead of Breeze.
Should be ahead of Chandler Jones.
Should be ahead of Chandler Jones.
Okay. Nick Bosa.
That's okay. He's a monster.
Travis Kelce at 18, way below Kittle.
Yeah, doesn't make sense. As we said last week, Kittle and Kelsey are kind of like 1A, 1B. So
How is it possible to have Khalil Mack at 19 that far below Bobby Wagner?
yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Khalil Mack is one of the first. I think of Khalil Mack before I think of Bobby Wagner. Easily.
Is it? I don't understand. Khalil Mack literally transforms the game.
Mm-hmm.
There has never been a time where I've said to myself, and I love Bobby Wagner. Dude's a beast,
It's amazing.
right? Like the heart of the Legion of Boom now, whatever's left of the Legion of Boom.
Mm-hmm.
There's never been a time where I'm like, man, Bobby Wagner's just changed the complexion of this game.
No, not like Khalil Mack when he's sacking your QB and taking the football from him.
The first 3 games of the year, he had more points in the Bears offense.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he's way up there. Number 20 is the most perplexing. This is a position that Tom and I, he's a little more adamant than I am, but
Yeah,
this
I'm
is a
very mad at
position. So go ahead and explain to them. Deshaun Watson is number 20 on the list, and I know how you feel about this, so go ahead and tell them.
So it's kind of relates directly to the Madden ratings. You have these QBs like Brady, Breeze, in front of a guy like Deshaun Watson, who has no help in Houston. I think we could all say that Bill O'Brien's a bad head coach. And is he the GM there as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah. The got to be top 5 worst GM in the league.
Absolutely.
How the guy that carries the team, puts him on his back, runs around with no offensive line, does everything for that team, has a great arm, great mobility. How is a guy like that below Tom Brady? Drew Brees. We said last week that Deshaun Watson has a case to be in front of Lamar Jackson.
Easy.
Arm talent, Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
Yeah, nobody really moves like Lamar. I'll admit that. Deshaun's a little behind in that, but can Lamar keep that up year to year? We'll see this year. But that's outrageous. Just Deshaun Watson at 20. If you have Brady has what, 12?
14.
14?
Overall.
Deshaun Watson's a top 10 player in the league.
Easily.
I don't. It's like these guys paired up with the Madden, and I don't know who does these, so I
I
shouldn't.
don't either. I mean, listen, it's obviously got to be a bunch of analysts, whatever, you
Yeah.
know, the morning show people,
Yeah.
whatever it is. I mean, listen, I'm going to say this first. It's got to be very, very tough with all different positions, slotting people
Right.
in. You don't really know.
Yeah,
right?
that's tough. That is tough.
Like for us, we can go down the list of best players, but all of the best players in our mind, offense might come first, right?
100%, yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
I give them a lot of credit for thinking outside the box and being able to slot players.
But when you start thinking about guys at the same position, and you start realizing, oh wait, Watson is below Tom Brady.
I mean, this next one though, 21 to 30, this will blow your mind even
I'm
more.
sure.
Dalvin Cook is better on their list than Tyreek Hill, Ezekiel Elliott,
Well, there you go. That position thing. That right there tells you, wait, we got to switch some things around.
Von Miller, Jamal Adams, Quentin Nelson,
Quentin Nelson is the best, maybe the best guard in football.
and Mike Evans. By the way, Dalvin Cook is not top 50, so everybody understands.
I don't.
When you have defense involved and
Yeah.
guards and lines,
He's like, we're going through running backs. What was he, like 6 or 7?
yeah, he was down there somewhere.
So, and now he's in the 20s when we're considering everybody in the National Football League.
Dalvin Cook at 21, Zeke Elliott at 24.
Zeke is really getting disrespected lately.
By the way,
He really is.
is he getting disrespected or the guy we haven't called yet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the guy from New York.
Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, who's arguably the most talented back in the league.
I'm starting to think that people may know something we don't. Because the Madden people put him 5th, and they don't even have Saquon Barkley top 30 before Dalvin Cook and these other running backs.
I think they don't even look at anything with their eyes, right? They just go to a box score and they're like, let me see. He had, 15 carries for 80 yards. Yeah, he's a decent back. Watch the game with your eyes.
It's got to be. So I went to a game. I went to the Cowboys Giants game last year with my guy Steve Carey. Shout out to Steve Carey. I went there with him.
Mm-hmm.
Saquon on a high ankle sprain was still doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I watched him throw a little dump pass out to the flats, and he took it to the house. Bro, this guy is so dynamic that it actually makes me sick to my stomach he plays in New York.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. If you watch his games, he's getting 2 to 3 guys tackling him before the line of scrimmage. Then he's juking, breaking 2 tackles, then getting tackled maybe a yard or 2 in front of the line of scrimmage.
Bro, they have Richard Sherman as the best cornerback. Richard Sherman, number 28 overall, as the best cornerback in the NFL.
Was he ever the best cornerback?
In the Seattle
Maybe a year.
I mean, listen, I'll give Richard Sherman in zone when he's playing one side of the field and you have Cam Chancellor or Earl Thomas over the top,
helping you out.
there's not much room for them to throw.
Right.
And you do have to stick on people, right? So Richard Sherman did what he had to do, and I will never take that away from him. But Richard Sherman has been exposed many of times. And right now with the 49ers, it was like 9 years in. I mean, only 3 interceptions, which they're saying are his most since 2016. I don't really understand. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
So I'm looking through Quentin Nelson, number 29 overall. They obviously value the guard much
That's cool.
less.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Fine with that.
Mike Evans, number 30. Mike Evans gets a lot of love here. I wouldn't put him top 30.
I think I would, honestly. I think I would. I think I'm fine with him at 30, especially when you have guys like Julio way in front of him. I know Julio's better, but at 30 seems okay to me. But I'd like to see who's right behind him.
Do you put... So we're going to go down to 31. 31 now, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is Saquon Barkley. 31, finally, is Saquon Barkley. Behind Dalvin Cook.
Zeke.
Behind Zeke. Behind tight end positions.
Behind, yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Behind Chandler Jones.
No.
I'm not really understanding this.
No, me neither.
So, for me,
This is horrible.
it gets really tricky here. Number 32, Shaquille Barrett. He led the league in sacks, 19 and a half
Yeah,
sacks.
he was a monster last year, no doubt.
Fine. Why is he not where Chandler Jones is?
Yeah, that doesn't make it. He was better than Chandler Jones.
I don't understand. Aaron Jones is up here. Aaron Jones, 49 catches, 474 yards, 236 catches, 1,084 yards, 19 total touchdowns.
Led the league, right? Or
That's
tied
great.
for the league,
Yeah, that's great. But guys, he had a ball handling problem. He fumbled a lot. I don't know if I had him that high. Joey Bosa,
Man who
just
just got paid.
135
Record-setting deal.
135 bills. He deserves it.
Yeah, that's fine. It's smart. I think he's the first Charger ever to get 100 mil, too.
He's the anchor of that team.
Yeah, that's a smart move.
Yeah. Minka Fitzpatrick, free safety. I have to say, Minka Fitzpatrick to me, we're going to stop at 40 real quick because Jamal Adams was on the list. He's ahead of Saquon. He was behind Dalvin Cook. I want to talk about something at 40. So Minka Fitzpatrick comes in, and Minka Fitzpatrick makes a great statement as a Steeler, right? But we both agree he was underutilized in Miami. They were dumping, whatever, right? He comes in, they give a first-round pick. The guy is one of the best safeties in the league.
Yep, no doubt.
But I'm not putting him ahead of Jamal Adams. And we're going to go through this in a second because I want to go through the contract. Number 36 overall is Nick Chubb.
Seeks boy.
By the way, way down this list and still too high up. I would take Jalen Ramsey over Richard Sherman, who's 37. Chris Godwin should not be ahead of Devontae Adams.
That's Chris Godwin.
He should not be ahead of Keenan
1
Allen.
year?
He should not be ahead of Amari Cooper.
No, he shouldn't be.
There's no way. By the way, he only had 5 more receptions than Alvin Kamara. Just want to give Alvin Kamara a shout out. 39, Tyrann Mathieu. Tyrann Mathieu, in my opinion, should be ahead of Minkah Fitzpatrick.
I would
Does
agree.
more.
I would agree.
Number 40, Daniel Hunter. How is Daniel Hunter not ahead of Chandler Jones
Yeah, what's with the love for Chandler Jones?
or Cameron Jordan, who was earlier? Okay.
Love for the old guys.
Love for him, right? The guy, I guess, whatever, but he's 25 years old. This
Yeah.
guy is,
Stud.
he is. I mean, he's a monster. Look, it says it every year. I mean, in his third full season as starter, the guy had 14 and a half sacks 2 years in a row. Third year. I mean, I don't really understand how you get any better than that, how you want more than that. The guy averaged a sack a game virtually.
The youngest player in NFL history.
It
to
really
reach 50 total sacks.
it's crazy. I don't know. I don't understand it, but here's what happened, guys and girls. A big trade happened this week. We talked about this in depth, so I want to hear your point first, right? So Jamal Adams gets traded to the Seattle Seahawks. Jamal Adams was forcing his way out of New York.
Right, 100%.
Forcing, right? I want out at any and all expense. So, he starts going at Adam Gaze's neck. He starts going at Douglas's neck. He starts going at the players' necks. Whatever it is, he wants out. The Seahawks give up 2 first-round picks and McDougal, their safety, for Jamal Adams.
Yes.
In your opinion, who wins on that trade?
The Seattle Seahawks win the trade, and I think as is with most trades, mostly in any sport, specifically the NBA most of the time, but NFL too, whoever gets the best player normally wins your trade, right? Because the other ones are picks. Most picks don't even tend to work out. You need some luck to draft good, to get good players. In this situation, when we talked about this, I thought it was a good move for both teams. The Seahawks get a safety, solidify their defense. They're a Super Bowl contender. I think they were a Super Bowl contender before Jamal Adams.
I agree.
But now, even a stronger case. The Jets, they get 2 firsts. They get a safety who I don't know much about, but I've heard actually isn't a bad safety. He's a starter in the league. That's what I've heard. So I think it made sense I heard some Jet fans saying, all these are rumors. Maybe we can keep Jamal inside. You can't. You got to get rid of him. After the stuff he's coming out saying, you got to get rid of him. You don't want that in the locker room. I didn't think they were going to get 2 firsts. I thought that was going to be hard for them.
I agree.
So I thought maybe, they have to settle for 1 first, a player, a 4th, and a 5th, or something like that. But to get 2 firsts, I thought was a good job by the Jets to get 2 firsts. But the Seahawks are still the winners. But when I was talking to Eric on Bro Fluent, he's a major Jet fan, been a Jet fan for a long time. I said, I feel like every year we almost seem like the Jets hey, maybe the Jets can win some games this year, right? Sam's moving on now. He's getting better. I think Sam Darnold's a good young quarterback. I think he's good. I'm like, this might be the year Jets maybe get a wild card spot. Now, I'm like, this is another year you're pushing back.
Yep.
Another year saying, we're going to rebuild again, get a little better. Next year will be our thing. But the next year might come around and you might have a problem with L. Bell or you might have a problem with someone else. So I think as a Jet fan, it's a little disappointing because that's another year now you're going to sit through a team that's wins 6 to 8 games max, right?
Yep.
So Seahawks are the winners, but the Jets aren't big losers for this trade.
So I'm in 100% agreement where I feel Seattle Seahawks, and we're going to dive deeper into it, right? Seattle Seahawks won the day, and here it is twofold. The hardest thing for an NFL team to do is cash in on a first-round pick.
Yeah.
The hardest. There's a 50% chance your first-round pick is a bust.
Right.
Okay? Let's go through. Now they have 2 first-round picks, the Jets.
Yep.
Let's go through the Jets' first-round picks. We'll go back.
That should be interesting.
We'll go back to 2000, and you tell me how many the Jets landed on. And if this makes you feel confident, this is why Seattle landed, and we'll go to Seattle side.
Right.
Quinnen Williams, not enough on him. He came here last year.
I liked the pick when it happened.
I don't think he's been dominant, right? But
No, not yet.
Okay, they went with Sam Darnold. We're still yet to see him, but he has flashed.
I'm fine with Sam too.
Okay. Jamal Adams, great safety.
Home run. Yeah.
Okay. Darren Lee, already gone. Leonard Williams, already gone. Calvin Pryor, sucks. Sheldon Richardson, gone. D. Milner, trash can. Quentin Copels, later. Muhammad Wilkerson, gone. Kyle Wilson, who? Mark Sanchez, butt fumble. Dustin Keller,
Hey, he brought you to 2 AFC Championship games.
did he or Curtis Martin in that offensive line?
And the defense was very good.
And the
But,
offensive
you
line.
know,
Okay.
Okay. Right.
Okay. Dustin Keller, who? Vernon Golston, Darrell Revis, best pick you ever had.
Right. Home run.
Nick Mangold, second best pick you ever had. DeBrickashaw Ferguson, solid.
He was good. Yep.
So I said, we'll go back. Jonathan Vilma, gone. Dwayne Robertson, who? Brian Thomas, who? Santana Moss, okay. Anthony Beck, trash. Chad Pennington, consistently average. John Abraham, Sean Ellis, okay. So the last 20 years, I have named 20 years. You had how many picks? We had 4 that year.
Yeah.
2 that year, none there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 25 first-round picks. And I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 25 picks landed for the Jets.
Do the math.
So who would you rather have? The sure shot or the draft pick?
Yeah.
Why? It does have a lot to do with people picking, but guys, it is the ultimate gamble. Vinny, what's going on, brother? It is the ultimate gamble for the players in the drafts. It is a gamble. You're walking in and you're hoping you land him. So this is what I'm going to tell you. Every great defense, every defense that was led by a great player had a great field general that was a safety. Ed Reed. Was there anybody more important than Ed Reed to those Ravens defenses? Those epic defenses.
No.
Troy Polamalu. Anybody better?
Nope.
Ronnie Lott. Anybody better? Brian Dawkins. Anybody better? Darren Woodson led those Cowboys teams. Guys, if you're not listening, these are teams that win championships. Okay? Earl Thomas and the Legion of Boom. Anybody better? The late, great Sean Taylor when the Redskins were still doing what they were doing. The late, great Sean Taylor. Rodney Harrison and those epic Patriot defenses. Steve Atwater. Guys and girls, Bob Sanders on your Colts. One of the best, most underrated, hard-hitting safeties of all time.
I loved Sanders.
Right? So this is what I say to you. Does it matter to have a field general as a safety? Or do you want the picks? Jamal Adams is multi-dimensional. He's a run stopper. He gets to the quarterback, gets sacks, and he can cover. He's young. He's influential in the locker room, whether or not you like it. The guys love him. Le'Veon Bell talked about how he went there because Jamal Adams was one of the guys pitching it to him, right?
Best tackling safety.
Best
in the league.
tackling safety. So he goes to a team in the Seahawks that are born and bred for D without even knowing if we're adding Clowney.
Yeah.
So who got the better of the deal?
Seattle Seahawks.
Bro, guys, you always have to take what's in front of you, not what could be. And for me, I'm a victim of that, and I'll tell you why. I'm a big Mets fan, right? Back in 2015, when the Mets made it to the World Series, even before that, they did a big Sports Illustrated spread on the New York Mets pitching staff. Supposed to be one of the greatest, could be the greatest of all time. Matt Harvey, Syndergaard, DeGrom, all these guys, right? Our top five were nasty. And then injuries happened. Matt Harvey fell off the deep end.
Yep.
Syndergaard's not pitching. DeGrom's a stud, but all these other pitchers, Matt's has not come into fruition yet. So here's what I say to you: Do you bank on the what ifs, or do you take the sure shot?
It's an easy one, the short shot.
That's it, brother. That's it. So Jets fans, don't be upset.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to make my point. It's not. Jamal was leaving either way.
Either way.
So you got 2 picks. Don't be up in arms. You knew he had to go,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And listen.
But yeah, don't get it twisted that you didn't win the trade either.
No, but you're getting 2 late picks. Seattle's a playoff team.
Oh, yeah.
So, you have to hope that you land something, with that pick. But, okay, I mean, it is what it is, right?
So now Seattle gives him that contract?
So Seattle said that they were going to wait, believe it or not.
Because they got Clowney sitting there?
I think so. Seattle recently came out and said they weren't going to sign him yet. I'm not 100% sure.
It seems like if you make the trade, you're going to sign him if you make the trade, right?
He'll be there, right?
Yeah.
I would assume. So. I agree with you. So it's tough to say which way you want to go about it, but you do 2 first-round picks, unless you said you knew for a fact you were winning the Super Bowl this year, and you were just like, dude, screw it. Like it's a guaranteed win. We'll mortgage our future off for the next few years to get a slam dunk win, maybe, right? But I don't think that's the case.
No.
So,
Now I'm not sure about how much money they have available. So they give Jamal the money he wants. I'm assuming that means they're letting Clowney walk.
I'm assuming also.
Right.
No, that's true. I'm assuming they let Clowney
Which
walk.
I would rather have Jamal.
Yeah.
So it's
I was
still
gonna
a
ask
smart
you.
move.
I was going to ask
Still
you.
a smart. Clowney's a beast. I love
Okay.
Clowney, but still rather have Jamal.
Would you rather have him because Clowney can't stay on the field, or do you think he's a better player?
I think they're comparable, and I think Clowney can stay on the field, so then it makes it easy.
I'll tell you what. Has anybody in the history, other than Jamarcus Russell, coming out of LSU, has anybody in the history of the NFL had one thing shown in college, done one thing, and gotten more credit for that than Jadeveon Clowney?
That hit on the back where the ball popped up.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the hardest hits you'll ever see. But
Of course.
yeah, you got a point.
But I watched Jamarcus Russell throw the ball from his knees like 70 yards at LSU, right? So obviously, it's
Marcus Russell.
so it's easy for the Raiders to fall into that trap.
Yeah.
But you're talking about a guy with Jadeveon Clowney who has been solid. Don't get me he's been solid, right?
Listen, he's an athletic freak. He's going to be able to do some things for you.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
But he's just gotten so much credit. Like he's this next level guy when like Daniel Hunter, I would sign him for twice as much.
You got a point. You do have a point.
Now I got to ask you a question, right? Because the NFL, what do you think about a lot of these players holding out for the coronavirus, man? You
Like the
hear about this.
Patriots?
Bro.
All those Patriots players, 6 or 7 of them?
Has anybody been hit worse than the Patriots?
I know. Like they didn't even have talent anyway. We saw that last year. People complaining, oh, Brady doesn't have talent. Now we got 6 dudes not even coming back.
You heard Chung opted out, right?
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Dante Hightower?
And Chung. Bro, that's a disaster. Chung's one of the best safeties in all football.
Cam Newton's like, damn it.
And Cam Newton's still ready to go, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Cam Newton, they said he was the first in the facility every day to
Good.
get his tests,
Yeah,
his
yeah.
COVID tests. I like it, man. I
He's
hope
trying. Yeah, he's trying to show his teammates. Listen, I'm here. We got to get this thing moving, but that's not helping anybody. Now, are they sitting out because of Corona? That's what they said.
Yeah, that's what they said, man. They said they're sitting out.
How's the pay going? Are they getting paid?
So they said they're getting pay. I think it's minimal, $150,000. I think it's like
Wow.
it's very minimal.
And for a guy like Dante Hightower, I mean, that's
Yep.
insane.
I mean, I'm looking at it. The Patriots got crushed on this, man. I don't know if any team in the NFL,
That's insane.
dude. Marcus Cannon, Patrick Chung is.
He's been good for a long time.
I mean, this is very tough for them. This is very, very tough for them. So I don't know, man. I still thought before the season started that the Patriots had a strong chance to make a run. They don't have
As did I.
They don't have two of their leaders on defense, and that defense is tough. It's a tough one for me to swallow.
Yeah, it's
What do you think?
sad. It's sad to hear.
What do you think? Bills have the division? What do you think?
That's hard to say.
Or you still think Patriots?
Are you a believer in Josh Allen?
I'm just not a believer in Buffalo.
Exactly why I'm saying hard. The last time I heard Buffalo,
Yeah, anything in Buffalo doesn't really strike me as like successful. So
Exactly.
I don't really know.
honestly, off the top of my head, I'm still thinking New England.
Sorry for anybody who lives in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Shout-
I mean,
yeah.
listen, you're
My boy Josh, he's listening. He's a Buffalo Bills fan. Sorry,
Yeah.
buddy. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not the best place to play football.
I mean, Josh, they start getting snow in September.
Exactly.
I don't really know. You know, these people are notoriously known for breaking tables. Lets me know the collective IQ is far below, standard American IQ. So
Not a big free agency market.
Yeah, I can't really buy into that. And when Stephon Diggs, who's played in a dome his entire career, yes, in Minnesota, but in a dome, he's going to be in for a sad awakening when it's, 8 degrees outside.
You don't want to leave.
And Josh Allen's not throwing him the ball,
Josh
and
Allen's
he's crying.
He's running with it because that's his thing.
Yeah, and he's mad that Kirk Cousins won't throw him the ball in a dome. Yeah, good luck with that.
What
Good luck-
about the Dolphins?
What
Just
about 'em?
forgot about them. You don't think they got a shot? I think they have a solid team now. They ended last year on a good note.
Not
Tua coming in.
Tua just got cleared today.
He passed his physical. And I'm a big fan of Tua. Big fan.
What are you the biggest fan of with him?
He's
Curious.
very accurate. He's a very accurate thrower. Now, the hip, yeah, that's a bad injury. But he's passed his physical. He's done everything right since he hurt his hip. I love the move for the Dolphins when they drafted him. I think he's the future and he's going to be one of the best QBs.
You know what I'm a big fan of? I'm a big fan of guys. I never like to say doing it the right way, right? Because everyone's right way is
Right.
different. I'm a big fan of players always staying positive and staying out of the news.
That's Tua.
And Tua to me was the epitome of a player, of a leader, someone you would want on your team.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, what the national championship game when he subs in? What else you need to know? That shows you what kind of head he's got on his shoulders.
Yep.
All right, I'm coming in this game. Our starting QB was a Heisman candidate.
Yep.
I could take this team to win. It's not too big for me. I got it. Hopefully, the same thing in Miami.
I love it. No, I listen, dude. Anybody in the AFC, it's irrelevant to me
Yeah,
because I'm a Cowboy fan, you
Yeah.
know. So like, what AFC teams do,
that division's bad. Huh?
yeah. I mean, I root. I secretly nobody really knows, but I'm like a closet Ravens fan. Big.
Okay.
Oh, like very, very. I've always been. By the way, I became a Ravens fan because Deion Sanders went there, and in 2004, I played with him on NFL 2K4. So I became a huge Deion Sanders fan. Right.
Nothing wrong with that.
I became a huge Ravens fan. So like for me, also because the Ravens just smacked the Giants in the Super Bowl in 2000. So anybody who does that makes me feel like a great person. But that's why for me I don't really care what happens. Anybody in the NFC, I watch. I have to pay attention to because we got to go through them.
Yeah, of course.
That's how I know Alvin Kamara is better than Nick Chubb.
So if you had to pick one, who are you picking in the division? AFC East.
AFC East. I mean, now with those players opting
That's
out,
what I'm saying.
Bills.
The Bills, yeah.
It's got to be.
I'm going to go to the Dolphins. I'm going to do it.
It's got to be. That's a hot take.
I'm going to say the Dolphins. Tua.
That's-
I believe in Tua.
That's the hottest take I've
I
heard
believe in
my life.
Tua. Come on, Tua, in Miami. Don't be partying too much in South Beach.
By the way, not only that, I honestly, like, I got to get you both drug tested.
Oh,
That's a hot take. I like it, though. I love hot takes. I love hot takes, man. That's sizzling.
Tua,
take.
Tua or Josh Allen? Tua. I'm telling you, Tua.
Wow. So here's the thing, man. Josh Allen's an NFL quarterback already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. And
Eh.
we've seen he can do some things.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I'm thinking I'm taking Josh Allen right now.
Stamp it here. And when the season goes down, hopefully it goes down. No corona problems.
But I love the upside too, bro. Love it.
Love it.
But far greater upside.
Yes.
Far greater upside.
Miami wins the AFC East 2020.
Miami wins the AFC East 2020.
In a horrible division. Horrible. It's going to be like one of those years where the 7 and 9 team makes playoffs.
I want to go through
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
I want to go through it right now. Division by division. Ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
AFC East. You said Dolphins. I said Bills.
Dolphins go Tua.
AFC North.
AFC North, Baltimore. But I don't sleep on Pittsburgh. Big Ben is back.
Okay, I'm going Baltimore also. AFC South.
Gotta go with Indy, baby.
Really?
It's my team. Come on. Who else?
I'm. This is going to surprise you.
Don't-
Houston
don't.
Texans.
That's not surprising.
AFC West.
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Yeah. Duh.
NFC East.
NFC East. Philly.
I'm going to say Cowboys. NFC.
Homer.
But I think they're both going to be neck and neck.
Yeah, I
you know what I
agree.
mean.
I
It always comes down to the end. NFC North.
NFC North. Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers. I'm a believer.
Wow. Really?
What? Who?
I'm going to say Chicago Bears, and I'll tell you why.
Mitch Trubisky. Come
No,
on.
I think that Nick Foles comes in. Not that Nick Foles is the answer, but he'll make less mistakes. And I think if a QB makes less
Sure, I
mistakes,
forgot Foles was there.
they have nice running backs over there. Montgomery. They have Tyreek Cohen. They have a nice.
They got targets.
They have some targets,
Weapons.
and they got a great D.
Yeah.
Great D. Right? It's like the new monsters of the Midway. So for me, I'm going to say Chicago Bears.
Green Bay.
Okay. NFC South.
NFC. Wow. Now this is a good division. Maybe the best division of football with Tampa Bay coming up this year. Atlanta. Atlanta bounces back. Atlanta bounces back, gets the division.
Atlanta takes it?
Yes.
Wow.
A couple of years ago, we were talking about Matt Ryan being Aaron Rodgers a couple of years ago.
Wow. Bro, that's
Atlanta Falcons. They
That's-
got weapons. Matt Ryan's gonna have a good year.
a massive take.
Todd Gurley. Right?
I got to go Buccaneers.
Yeah, that's fine.
I have to.
So does New Orleans drop now a little bit? Is this the end of the Breeze era in New Orleans?
No, I say Buccaneers and Saints both make it in.
Okay.
I don't. I like the.
And
I
Teddy Bridgewater's at the bottom.
Teddy Bridgewater's at the bottom right
Sadly.
now.
Yeah,
Panthers
sadly.
are a young team. They're
Yeah.
rebuilding. And Teddy Bridgewater has been nothing but average. If you look at his stats, he hasn't done anything incredible.
Atlanta, baby.
And NFC West.
NFC West. You got the loaded Niners team, a loaded Seahawks team, a Rams team that was in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. This might be the best division of football. And a rising Cardinals team.
You can't have two best divisions in football. Which one?
I
is it,
said
bro?
might be.
Well,
might,
which one is
might,
it? Dude?
It
Pick
might
one. Make up your
implies
mind.
two.
South or West, dude? Come on, bro.
Probably the West. And I'm going to say the Seattle Seahawks with Russell Wilson and the new Jamal Adams.
You ready for it?
What are you about to say?
Arizona Cardinals.
I like it. Kyler Murray, baby.
You give him DeAndre Hopkins.
That's going to be
Kenyon
dynamic.
Drake came in. That
gonna be
defense.
dynamic.
Listen, they love Chandler Jones for a reason.
But let's be real, 49ers defense.
No, I understand, but you know what though? I don't see this 49ers team being as dynamic. Their 2020 schedule starts off versus Arizona, and they're
Tough game. That's not easy.
nope. They're at the Jets, right? So
W.
so 2-0. They're at the Giants 3-0, and they're home against the Eagles. That's 4-0. They're at the Dolphins. That's 5-0.
All right, so what are we going wrong here?
Okay.
This
Okay,
team's
you're right.
bad. They're
I didn't look at
13
the
and 0.
schedule. I didn't look at the schedule.
They're 13 and
Okay, I didn't look at the schedule. I rescind what I said there. I'm taking that back. The 49ers are winning the division.
This team stinks. They're 15 and 1.
I made critical mistakes there. I did not look at the schedule. Wow. Okay.
Seattle will give them a run though. Let's be real. They'll probably split regular season.
By the way, whoever made this schedule, they were like, bro, we got to help the 49ers.
We got to get Jimmy G back. We got to get him back.
Because this is padding the stats. I mean, I feel bad, but like that was pretty atrocious. Wow. I mean,
Oh, that's hilarious.
that is tough. But listen, who do you think? Who do you think comes out of the AFC?
All right, top of my head. It's easy to say Kansas City. You know, I'm trying to think of dark horse at the top of my head. Maybe the Houston Texans with Deshaun Watson have a crazy year. But I'm going to say Kansas City.
Okay. I'm saying Kansas City also. Who comes out of the NFC?
Yeah. NFC. Now, you got some dogs in the NFC. There's a lot more competition.
NFC's way better than AFC.
A lot more competition. Seattle Seahawks.
You know, Dallas Cowboys. So,
Oh, God.
so-
no, you didn't.
yeah.
No, you didn't. Stop.
so Dallas, it's going to
Wait. Who's your QB in the Super Bowl? Is it?
No, Andy Dalton.
Is it a Dak
It's Andy Dalton.
or the Red Rifle?
It's got to be Andy Dalton. It's got to be Andy Dalton.
God.
It's got to be. In order to be successful, it's got to be Andy Dalton.
So you're gonna have a quarterback change mid-year,
Yep.
and you're gonna make it to the Super Bowl.
Yep. That's it. But guys and girls, listen. Guys and girls, right after us, we have Sal Angeletti talking baseball coming in. He's going to be doing the Yankee show tonight. It's going to be phenomenal. Listen in. He'll give some different takes. It'll be nice to not hear the same monotonous voices as we're used to. So let's all tune in. Listen to Sal call the game. It's going to be fun tonight. And Tom, I appreciate you coming in here. And when in the next few weeks we'll have on you and Eric at the same time. I'll let you guys try and double team, and maybe it'll go a little bit better. And so thank you for coming on the show.
Love
brother.
being on. Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely. Guys and girls, you listen here on HamiltonRadio.net, Channel 2, Hamilton Radio, simulcast, My Sports Radio. Get the app. Go online, get the app so you can listen wherever, whenever you are. There are other great shows on the radio station itself. You listen to your boy, John Entel, and my guest host again for the second straight week, Tom DiFilippo. Guys and girls, I'll catch you in 6 days, 22 hours. We're out.
You're rocking with the newest radio show on Hamilton Radio, My Sports Radio.
Deals. And Bonds hits one high. It's a dig. It is on the all-time home run list.
Trainer right next to me is saying it. You may hear him. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. The heavyweight champion is taking the mandatory 8 count, and Foreman is as poised as can be in a neutral corner.